Okay, let's do this thing. Monday Night Raw, Monday Night Raw, Monday Night Raw. San Antonio, Texas. What do we got going on in San Antonio, Texas tonight, huh? As we a few weeks away from, SummerSlam, I think 2 weeks and whatnot. We kick it off with Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar coming out there. God bless Texas, he says. And, it would be rude to leave his hat on after an intro like that. And, he placed his hat on, basically, on one of the turnbuckles and whatnot. But Lesnar talked about Reigns, as he talked about his promo from last Friday, and life's been good for him. And Lesnar said, he brought up, pigs get fat and hogs need to be slaughtered, and that's what he's going to do. That Roman Reigns is the hog, and he's going to slaughter hogs on his farm every single day and whatnot, what he usually does. But a tribal hog is going to get a country ass kicking, he said. But before he can even continue on, Paul Heyman came out there, interrupted him, and he said, speaking of hogs and stuff, which the fans chanting, "You suck," and Heyman says, "Listen, we may have our differences, but Brock Lesnar does not suck." Heyman says, we went from WrestleMania, the most stupendous WrestleMania, to now the most barbaric SummerSlam of all time, and basically say, if you're a betting man, you're trying to bet on Brock Lesnar, it's not going to happen because, he said Roman Reigns basically defines greatness and, athletic competitions, where Lesnar's legacy is just, defined by annihilating everybody. Next thing they showed the Usos in the back, as Heyman said, it doesn't matter what happens, Reigns is going to put down Lesnar. And, it could be the 100 count and everything. He's even going to send him to the morgue if it has to. All right. Heyman basically went on and said that Reigns is almost 700 days in as champion. And that Brock Lesnar, this is not going to be a streak. He will conquer this time. And, Reigns will basically will have to even stick his hand up Brock Lesnar's ass and pull his heart out of his hole. So Lesnar even laughed at that. So yes, we're sticking hands up people's asses, folks, and pulling whatever out. But Austin Theory ended up coming out there and standing on the podium saying that he has the money in the bank and it doesn't matter who wins at SummerSlam. But he said he's going to cash on either Roman or Brock, and he'll be the U.S. champion once he beats Bobby Lashley. So he's going to sit back and, relax and watch all this destruction go down, and he'll just walk down to the ring and pin him, and he'll be the youngest, champion, whatever they call it, undisputed champion ever, as he said. Lesnar basically said, how about you come to the ring and whatnot? But Austin Theory said, it doesn't matter and everything, and Heyman should listen to Lesnar and everything, because he said that Brock doesn't care about anybody, which they showed footage back in the Elimination Chamber when Brock F5'd him off the damn chamber and whatnot. Next thing you know, Alpha Academy comes out then, and Brock, I say everybody wants to go, all the cockroaches want to come out tonight, which Gable ended up clipping his knee, but Lesnar basically no-sold it and beat the living hell out of both Chad Gable and Otis out there, clotheslining him, beat him with a chair, beat him with steel steps, and F5'd Otis through the announce table. Like, shit, that looked brutal, by the way. So, they had to have Brock kill somebody out there, as Austin Theory and Paul Heyman looked on and whatnot. Brock basically stood over everybody. So yeah, very good segment to kick off the show, especially building the SummerSlam into the main event, and wondering who or when Austin Theory is going to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase right there. Right after then, Rey Mysterio and Dominic came out, as Finn Balor and Damian Priest came out, as they got on the mic. This is Judgment Day, and that Rey's going to be celebrating his 20th anniversary coming up soon, and there's nothing left. You're done, okay? So, Dominic, you need to come join us and everything, because saying his dad still doesn't have you. You need to step out of his shadow. He's not a good leader, just like how Edge wasn't a good leader, as they show footage of, Edge getting beat up by, Finn and everybody at the time, and stuff, which Rey and him ended up attacking Ballard in, which a singles match was about to happen. So, yeah. That's going to happen then. So will Dominic turn? Basically, we got Finn versus Rey after that. Good match, though. I figured Finn was going to go over anyways after they did the whole, pulling Eddie Guerrero thing last week on Raw. and Ray getting the win. I figured Finn had to get his win back, so yeah, 50-50 booking right here when you think about it. But it was a clean win with the coup de grace, as you know, Dominic checked on Ray in. Basically, Balor and Priest spoke to him, trying to get Dominic to turn on Rey Mysterio. So will he turn? Not sure yet, but it looks like they're building towards it. Becky Lynch came out there and standing on the announce table saying, like, you know, she could have won Money in the Bank, but Liv ended up winning and cashing. But I don't need a lottery or anything. I show up every week for my paycheck, and basically, you know, I've had to track, you know, my buy through no DQ match last week, and you know, Carmella gets a rematch for some reason. And whatnot, that she wants a match at SummerSlam, and Becky said I've had to jump a lot of hoops. I should have had my rematch right after the night after WrestleMania, but I didn't get it and whatnot. So basically, Becky had stayed at ringside. It was Bianca versus Carmella for the women's title again, which I'm surprised was actually that competitive this time. Probably a little bit of a better match they had back at Money in the Bank. I'll say that, a little bit better. It ended up with Becky did get involved, though, which Bianca was distracted, and a count-out happened. So Carmella won by count-out. So obviously this match is going to happen again, or it could be a triple threat at SummerSlam with Becky involved. Basically, Bianca looked on Carmella held up her belt, and Bianca ended up taking her down, hit her with the KOD after that. So could we see a triple threat match? Maybe. Miz came out with Tommaso Ciampa, which at least now they finally let Tommaso Ciampa actually talk this time. And I guess now he's buddy to Miz and explain what was going on. And, you know, it said that the Miz commands respect and stuff. As Miz talked about, you know, Logan Paul once again. They actually went to Logan Paul video base. I don't want to be a partner. I'm coming for you. Which Miz says, you know, you just want to keep the people talking and whatnot. I'm giving you a last chance. We can become tag team champions again, or I'll find someone else. And, you know, Champ, I guess now is his new partner, which I'm not buying into this whole Ciampa Miz thing. I don't know where this is going. It feels out of the ordinary. I'm glad Champ is actually talking, but I'm like, really, with the Miz now? I don't know how I feel about that. AJ Styles came out there and basically talked about the Miz again. Like, no one cares what you have to say. And Miz and them kept cutting off AJ and stuff. And everything. Styles got in the ring in. After that, tried to go after Miz and Ciampa, but Ezekiel came out then. Basically say he wanted to introduce himself, and you know, I'm Ezekiel, and Elias, he's obsessed with the Miz's tiny balls, more ball jokes, ball jokes, which ended up being a tag match with AJ and Ezekiel versus Miz and Tommaso Ciampa. Not a bad match for the time being actually pretty decent. Only thing was a DQ finish, which was kind of lame, but especially after what AJ had a submission on Miz, and then Ciampa attacked him and broke it up, but for some reason the referee disqualified Ciampa. So now I'm like, really, that was a DQ finish? So I'm like, okay. But AJ ended up in a phenomenal forearm over Ciampa down to the outside of the ring. After that, as Miz backed off then. Bobby Lashley, I guess in the back with Matt Riddle. Riddle told about, hey, dude, we could watch Stranger Things, bro. You know, my friend Randy. As they're going to get in a tag match later on tonight. Right after that, Alexa Bliss and Asuka went against Nikki Ash and Doudrop. Bliss and them won. I don't care. Moving on. Alexa, stop. Wow, the machine always goes off like that for some reason. Usos was out there to talk about what happened Money in the Bank, and with SummerSlam coming up, being a special guest referee for the tag team titles, they don't care who it is as long as they can count to 3. But the Street Profits came out there and talked about what happened in Money in the Bank, and Montez Ford's shoulder was still up. Can I just say, you know, one thing? Montez Ford, man, this dude look big as shit. Like, he's always been big as shit already, but this dude look way bigger than usual, man. Like, he big as shit out there. Like, you just gotta notice that. Okay? But R-Truth came out then. Basically said, I got a certificate in my hand. You know, I'm a divorce attorney. I'm a marriage counselor. I'm a Top Gun air pilot. And now I'm a certified tag team counselor and whatnot. Which then he ended up having a referee t-shirt on. And I can count and everything. Yeah, good thing they had Truth out there because he actually did make this segment funny. But, you know, talking about I'm going to be the referee for SummerSlam. I'm auditioning and stuff. But Uso said, yo, take your clown ass to the back and take that shirt off. He says, clown ass, honey. So y'all want to fight this clown ass. So he took off the referee's shirt and like he was getting ready to fight them. But, you know, yeah, I'm going to fight y'all with my partners right here. And then MVP and Omos came out then, basically saying, when I have Omos as special referee and whatnot, which they don't offer Omos' services right now, which ended up being a 6-man. Everybody brawled for a second, but yeah, 6-man tag. Not a bad match. Dawkins ended up taking a pinfall for some reason. I don't know why they just had Truth, especially with Omos getting the win over. You think they just would have had Truth since he has much enough of going on with this story. At least I will say, at least Truth wasn't chasing the 24/7 title this week, so I'm glad to see something different out of our Truth than the usual 24/7 shit like we usually see. But yeah, at least it's something different this time. Seth Rollins was being interviewed. Basically talked about what Orton and Ezekiel and Riddle and Cody Rhodes and stuff as he was getting ready for the main event. We did have another Edge video, different this time. This time we actually saw Mick Foley's flannel burning, Randy Orton's RKO t-shirt, especially the one when he was the Legend Killer, like the NWL style one, and John Cena's, one of John Cena's hats out there. So obviously it's got to be Edge, but especially with Foley, Orton, and Cena being referenced, like, come on, it tells you who's coming back. But in the main event, we did get Bobby Lashley and Matt Riddle versus Seth Rollins and Austin Theory. Dolph Ziggler came out then in a suit and sat there, didn't know what was going on. Good tag match, and it ended up with Ziggler getting involved and knocking Austin Theory's legs off the ropes on the roll-up pin. Riddle hit the RKO after that and won. I thought it was funny when Lashley kind of gave Ziggler, not Ziggler, but Riddle a pat and ended up knocking him down. Ziggler ended up getting in the ring and super kicking Austin Theory then, leaving him on the ground, which he did get some cheers and stuff. So don't know what's going on with Ziggler this time. So I guess he's a face this time, because the last time we saw him, I think him and Rude were on Raw. They showed up like last month, I believe, especially after they left NXT. And yeah, they showed up. They did something with MVP and Omos, and that was the last time we saw them. So at least Ziggler is now back on his own, and he's not with Rude this time, and they're not being a team. And Ziggler's a heel this time. Ziggler's a face this time, and not a heel. Because last time I really saw him do anything important was when he was the NXT champion not that long ago. So it looks like he returned to Raw, and it's like nothing happened. So it looks like they got something born now against Austin Theory. Don't know what's happening, but I guess we'll have to find out and see what happens then with Dolph Ziggler. But he is a face, it looks like, this time, so we'll find out. Other than that, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at HoodieNight890. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys then. Happy Amazon Prime Day. Buy new shit, free shit, cheap as hell, Black Friday in the summer. So yeah, other than that, peace out.